Oh, how we doing? Oh, see if you can see me. That lamp. There we go. All right. Deal with it. There we go. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining us here on the Ravori Sports Podcast. Like and subscribe to all of our social media content. Obviously, tonight is Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy New Year. We'll see you again before the New Year. But happy to all of you out there. 2025 has been an interesting year in a lot of fronts for Ravori Sports, our business. We've had a lot of growth, which has been fantastic. And we want to thank all of you out there for growing with us and having fun with us every Wednesday night. Ravori Sports Podcast, all the other fun stuff that we have planned. The Ravori Sports vlog is now live. The app is live. The Ravori Sports app, we're going to talk about that. So we're so happy about all the fun stuff that we have planned for 2025, 2026 that's coming up. Real quick, Genesis Notary Services /Facebook.com. So definitely we're going to have on January 1st, Genesis Notary Services live stream is going to be there on January 1st. So definitely check that out as well. We talked about it already. RaverySports.company.site is the website, and you can get the app. Ravori Sports app right here. Let's see if I can get it on camera. I don't know if you can see that there. I don't think you can see it on camera. Camera is not picking it up there. There it is right there. It's funny that way. But yeah, you get the idea. And you can scroll down there. Anyway, so definitely the app is available now. So definitely check that out. So busy, hard working on that for quite a while. So I'm not a coder. So we're very, very happy about that. See, Charles Harris, we are Legal Shield as well. At some point, 2026, we're gonna have a Legal Shield live stream. Not quite on the first, but we're definitely gonna be talking about that. Trying to get people to go ahead. Please, guys, the 2026, definitely do that. Definitely come out here in 2026 and definitely consider all your legal needs and all everything like that. So definitely check that out as well. We are Legal Shield. All right. Well, let's get to why we're here. The NFL. Let's start always with the NFL. A lot of stuff to go over today. Obviously, Christmas Eve, everybody's out here with family. That's why we're on here at 9 instead of 8. I go out with family, stuff like that. So we understand that. So those of you out here that are watching, thank all of you for spending some or part of your day with us. We appreciate it. I'm sure you didn't appreciate it if you're a Ravens fan, the way that game looked on Sunday night, 28-24, New England over Baltimore as well. Really thinking a lot about what a rivalry this has actually been as well. This hasn't been as one-sided as we all think here, but definitely change may be coming here in Baltimore here. After this was really damaging to the franchise as well. We'll go over that, what we heard today, etc. As well. Drake May, probably you could argue his best passing day as a pro, 31 for 44, 2 TDs, 1 interception. May, I thought, this guy's the real deal. He's still a little bit, I don't think he's quite in the upper tier yet, but he's top half of the league as far as quarterbacks. Make all the throws. Josh McDaniels, you could tell, hasn't let him go. So it's not Josh McDaniels' offense. It's still Josh McDaniels' offense and not Drake May's offense, but definitely Drake May. Really good stuff. May was really except for the one interception from Marlon Humphrey. But May was really solid as well in this one. Doesn't do a lot of down. If Matt Stafford's your favorite quarterback, then Drake May won't be. Like I'll just put it that way. He'll throw short stuff and all that, but May was really good. He had way too much time to throw. Way too much time to throw. Ramon Stevenson, 8 carries, 51 yards as well. Travion Henderson went out of the game with the injury. Stevenson finished up. Stevenson's not bad back as well. 8 for 51. He had more carries after the injury. Good speed that he has. Ravens' run defense isn't too bad, I don't think. That's kind of what they're doing, I see, with these offensive linemen. So there's no Matabuke. So they kind of just move Travis Jones to the outside, move John Jokins to the nose, and just kind of hope for the best there and to see if they can, at least stop the run. It's really struggling with the pass rush, though. Again, Stephon Diggs, former Maryland Terp. I was really pushing for him to be a Raven. He's still good. He's still good. Maybe not the receiver he once was in terms of the speed where he could just really run past people, but he really understands really tough stuff. Didn't want to come out of the football game in this one. Didn't want to go into the tent, sneaking out of the tent and all that other stuff. So Stephon Diggs, he's a dog. I love Stephon Diggs as a player as well. I think and he's definitely on the right team for him to get the volume of passes. Very young receiving group as well. Matt Collins is there. The Boots, he's the guy. He's the guy that can help Drake May. This is one of the better football players, I think, not talked about in the league, Christian Gonzalez. He had 7 tackles. He had really good coverage on everybody in this game, really, except Zay Flowers. Everybody else, he really gained the boost. Every time they tried Bateman or anybody else, Christian Gonzalez was all over. Big, tall, lean guy. This New England defense is good, even still considering the injuries they had. Let's talk about Lamar. 7 for 10, 101. No TDs and interceptions. Got to talk about Tyler Huntley. 9 for 10, 65 yards as well. My commentary was, in the offseason, there better be, and I said this on the instant reaction, there better be a Tyler Huntley extension in the offseason. There better be a Tyler Huntley extension in the offseason as Lamar's backup. So definitely, they lost this game, but not because of their backup quarterback situation. Tyler Huntley actually played well. Why they lost the game, Derrick Henry, 18 for 128, 2 TDs. You got to be kidding me, no Derrick Henry in the last series. I don't even understand that. Why didn't touch the ball the last quarter of the game, pretty much. I mean, the last 12 minutes. What that makes that's not good coaching. That's bad. That's just bad. Especially look at the numbers he's already got. 18 carries, 128 as well. I've kind of said this, and I've said this many, many times on this podcast. I'm going to say it one more time tonight. John Harbaugh does not like bell cow. As much as he in the press conference tried to say it was really Taggart in our schedule and blah, blah, blah. I've seen this with every coach he has. He's hiring. He doesn't like to seem yell at his coaches or call out his coaches for the most part. But what he likes to do is hire coaches, and this is anybody hiring in a business. You hire people with the same thinking that you have, right? And so, he doesn't want an OC that wants a bell cow. He wants an OC. He wants a running backs coach. He wants these guys who's going to rotate. And that's exactly what happened. But my goodness, I mean, Chris Collinsworth, shout out Chris Collinsworth calling that out during the broadcast, and everybody was talking about it, and they were talking about. I mean, it was because it was obvious. You didn't play Derrick Henry, and it might have cost you the football game there. So inexcusable coaching there. Zay Flowers, shout out to Zay Flowers making his second Pro Bowl. He's going to have over 1,000 yards for his second straight season. So I always said the Ravens would never get a really good receiver in the long term unless they drafted one and developed one, and they certainly have one now with Zay Flowers. A lot of more people are on Bateman and D Hop. I got no problem with either one of those guys. None. They're just not throwing the ball a whole lot. Stop throwing the ball a whole lot. I think some of that is the problems with the offensive line. They've had to put Kolar in. You've had to put Kolar and Isaiah Likely. You've had to have more blocking in Ricard. So you're taking wide receivers off the field and you're giving them less opportunities. And so when they are on the field, Zay Flowers is the main guy. He's getting most of them. So that's what's going on there. Roquan with 10 tackles. Shout out to him again, making another Pro Bowl as well. Roquan's been good the last second half. Ever since that injury he had early in the year and he came back, Roquan has been really good. So definitely shout out to Roquan Smith, 10 tackles, but again, not enough in the loss here. This was just clearly, I think, just not change might be needed here. I definitely don't like calling for coaches. I mean, I think like people forget all this fire Harbaugh stuff, but you know, I don't care what anybody says. These are still human beings. So I don't take that like I mean on this podcast, I take that very seriously. I don't really enjoy saying you know, we gotta fire the coach, we gotta do that, we gotta call for your job, blah, 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 blah. But that was just bad coaching. There's just no that was just bad coaching, not putting Derrick Henry in the game. It's bad coaching, leaving Falele in the game to do that. Bateman, and you got two good receivers, Bateman and D Hop. You can't even get them on the field like that because you got to put in because you're leaving because you're so determined to leave Falele in. That's bad coaching. And when a guy's been around 18 years and probably missing the playoffs, we don't know yet. Most likely, change might be needed. And we'll see how that goes as well. Real quick on New England. New England, I didn't think anything different in New England. This is a very good New England Patriots team, very well coached. They looked like a Belichick team. Josh McDaniels. I think this guy may go down as one of the best offensive, as bad as he is as a head coach, one of the better offensive coordinators in the history of the NFL. The way he's been able to go ahead and now this is his third quarterback, really making him look really good. So we will see 28-24. Ravens could have won this game, easily could have won this game, but you know, that's the way it went. And so, not dead yet. Going to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. Ravens now with that 7-8 losing record, going against the Green Bay Packers as well. Long time ago, people used to think I wear a Green Bay packaging. So apparently the packaging business is big in Green Bay. So definitely the Packers are probably on the outside looking in themselves. They have a better shot to get into the playoffs, 9-5-1. They're going to need this one and have issues of their own. Still trying to get in. Right now, I think they're like a 7th seed. I'd have to look it up. But to get in the playoffs as well. But definitely they're going to need these last 2 weeks, some success. Ravens are still alive. So Ravens scenario, they have to win this week, and the Browns have to upset Pittsburgh. So next Sunday, if that happens, you're going to get a one-game showdown in Pittsburgh, a winner-take-all, where the winner gets in the playoffs and wins the division, the loser goes home. That's if both of those scenarios happen. So the Ravens do have to win. Now, in this game, they may have to do it without their fearless leader, Lamar Jackson, in this one. So, as usual, they're saying, well, we don't know what's going to happen. Lamar's going to try and be out there. I'm thinking it's Tyler Huntley. Definitely looking at the presser and the press conference today, Huntley was taking a lot of questions. That kind of tells me, like, there was there Lamar there. They kind of keep it close to the vest always. But I'm kind of thinking it's Lamar, it's Tyler Huntley. I'll address the Lamar situation, Preston, and all that after. I go over the game here, but I'm thinking Huntley's going to play. Derrick Henry, he's got to be angry about what happened last week. Knowing Derrick Henry, watching him for all these years with the Titans, such an intense guy in general. I'm just very, very surprised that they just took him out of the game last week, especially with the season he's been having. He did fumble last week. I'm still thinking he's a little bit in John Harbaugh's doghouse, so much as nobody likes saying that. But I do think that is true. I do think he's kind of in the Harbaugh doghouse a little bit. That's kind of why. Now, they didn't say that, but that kind of would be an explanation about why he didn't play other than a rotation. To me, that makes more sense that he was kind of upset by the fumble. On the broadcast, they kind of alluded to that too. Why aren't you playing more? Well, I got to do it better myself, blah, blah, blah. And this is the announcers talking about when they talk to Derrick Henry in the production meetings. They say, I got to do better, blah, blah, blah. That kind of lends me to think that he's in the doghouse. This is not just a John Harbaugh thing. I don't care who it is. Coaches do not like running back to fumble. It's a good way to sit for 2-3 games. I've seen Harbaugh sit a guy for 2 or 3 games here as well. Zay Flowers is going back to the Pro Bowl. Again, he coughed up the ball in the New England game as well. Sometimes he's just doing too much. Sometimes I think he's just doing too much. I think Zay is really, really good as well. I think he's probably been your best offensive player this season. No question about it. So Zay really is a really good quarterback, really good wide receiver, rather, as well. Great speed, 2 touchdowns as well. Great touchdown pass catch from Lamar in that one early in the game, right down the sideline. So, again, as well. I don't think we're going to see Lamar in this game as well. Kyle Hamilton, 51 tackles on the year, 1 sack. Some are saying we need to see more from Kyle Hamilton. Again, shout out to Kyle going to the Pro Bowl. I think this is the best safety in the league. This is the best safety in the league. I got no problem. I got pretty much no problem. We would like to see a few more splash plays from him, etc. I think part of it is the pass rush is so bad that they're keying up on him more than they could if they had, saying they have Kyle Hamilton, because he's basically been playing linebacker like for a lot of this thing, playing linebacker, maybe nickel corner a lot of times. Like he really hasn't been playing traditional safety. That's been going to Alohi Gilman and Malachi Starks in this one. It does look like Jordan Love practiced today. Malik Willis didn't practice, so we're not completely sure. But he did practice today, so I'm thinking we're going to get Jordan Love in this game. Love is, I think, one of the better quarterbacks in the league. At times, he seems to take a day off. At times, he does. But 33, 81, 23 touchdowns, 6 INTs. So Jordan Love, I think, is one of the better cornerbacks. I think better quarterbacks in the NFC, certainly going into the playoffs. It's good to have a Jordan Love actually on your team. Josh Jacobs, I think the numbers don't do it justice, and I think he's got some good numbers. But 13 touchdowns is what everybody should be looking at there with him. This guy, I think, just runs over people. I think sometimes your game of football, you oversimplify, we overcomplicate things or we overdo things. This guy just runs over people, period. Takes 5 steps. Kind of reminds me of a lesser version of a Derrick Henry, kind of like a old school named Barry Word. I think he lives in the area here in the Shenandoah Valley and played for the Kansas City Chiefs. But he just runs over people. Just runs over people. He's got some shifting. He's got some breakaway once he gets in the open field. But basically, there's nothing fancy at all about Josh Jacobs. Runs over people. Great in the red zone. 926, should be going over 1,000 yards possibly in this game or in the last 2 games if he plays. Christian Watson, I think, is a number 1 receiver when healthy, in my opinion. I think like the receiving core is very interesting for Green Bay. Romeo Doubs, Jalen Reed, etc. They're all really good, but a lot of them, they just spend a lot of time on the shelf unnecessarily. But this guy is the main guy. Did play last week, which did surprise me considering the injury he had. So he's going to be ready to go. If I'm the Ravens, I'm not sure you're going to have a Woozy in this game, but definitely I'm putting Nate Wiggins on this guy here because I think that is huge. Rashawn Gary is the guy, your main guy. Once again, now that Micah Parsons is out, fan in the pan. Appreciate it, fam. Thank you, sir. So I do think Rashawn Gary is the main guy on there without Micah Parsons. That's a big loss. That's a big loss. The Packers, I think, with Micah Parsons, possibly are Super Bowl ready this year. Without him, that's a big difference as well. Also, too, I've seen it a couple times that he gets handled pretty regularly with Roger Rosengarten plays him. So that's kind of how they know that Roger Rosengarten was ready to start in his rookie year because he did so well against Rashawn Gary. Gary's a good pass rusher, but I think he's better with Parsons on the other side to tilt the field. So keying up on him, I don't think the Packers have great pass rush without Micah Parsons. X Factor in this game. Emory Jones as well. We could get Emory Jones for the first time in a whole game. Andrew Voorhees mispracticed today, so he was limited. So we will see about if we get Emory Jones a full game. I'm hoping we do. I'm hoping we get to see Emory Jones in this game. Shout out to John Jenkins, 105 years old. Not really, but 37, I think, something like that. Definitely, we know what he does. He stops the run. I think that's going to be huge when you're playing a Josh Jacobs up the middle in the defense. So we know Travis Jones is going to play well. And we know Travis Jones is going to play well. They don't really pass the rush, but you get John Jones stopping the run. That's definitely the guys they've been bringing up for practice squad. It's been for stopping the run. And I think the Ravens definitely put an emphasis on that. So that'll be the difference in the game as well. So Ravens 9-5. This game also to Saturday night football as well. This game 27th on Peacock, not NBC. So I think this is the Peacock live stream exclusive. This is not, I don't think it's on the main, it was on the channel. So for those of you Baltimoreans, DC people, I don't think it'll be on channel 2, channel 4. It'll just be on the streaming service as well. For me, that's how I watch all the games anyway. So 7 o'clock, so 8 o'clock Saturday night at Peacock as well in the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field. All right. So there you go. Let's talk about the article that came out today. I'm gonna talk about this real quick. So there was an article that came out today, and shout out to Purple Rain Podcast. Shout out to them. I saw it on there. The Mike Preston, the Mike Preston article saying that that came out, and I didn't read that. To be fair, I didn't read the whole thing. I only saw the inserts on the podcast, so I'm gonna be fair and say it. But I've seen it reported in several places about Lamar Jackson sleeping at the facility, sleeping in meetings, staying up all night playing video games, being overall immature, et cetera, et cetera. Heard that a couple places today. There was a Nick Wright tweet about it as well, kind of saying some of those. I almost don't even feel the need to respond to that in some ways, but I'm going to respond to it because this is what happens when you're losing. This is what happens in business when you're losing, right? When you are winning in life, you get a pretty girl or you on each arm, you get money, you get this, you're doing all these things, you get a lot of things. Start losing, and then you see who your friends are, and you see what happens, and some of these people go away, and they're not talking. You have a lot of these things, And that's what's going on right now. I think it's totally ridiculous that Lamar's up all night playing video games. That's just insane. This was the guy that demanded they were taken out of the out of the facility. So that doesn't make any sense to me. The other part, Lamar's faking his injury. Again, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm gonna tell you my opinion, informed opinion, watching for 30 plus years. Look, Lamar's hurt. Lamar couldn't even stand up at the locker. I think every time he's been injured, he's been injured. What's going on is the Ravens aren't exactly disclosing these injuries. And it could be Lamar agreeing with that, but they're just not disclosing these injuries. So people thinking that he's not hurt. They had all these injuries. They're saying, well, it's just, and this was a neck. This was I don't think it was neck. I think it was, well, he had a back. He had a foot. He had all this stuff. Well, and we're not. What you do is to say it's not a lie, quote unquote, is it's football, right? So, like, I could have hurt my elbow in a game and just put me on a report for an elbow. That means his elbow's not bothering him. But that's not the main thing. Lamar's had basically been playing this whole season with a hamstring. That's what's wrong. And that's why he's having so much trouble here as well. So, and I'm going to say this. The Baltimore banner has been running circles as far as I'm concerned around the Sun paper as well. And Mike Preston, this guy is just so negative all the time. I don't know what to say. I mean, it clearly to me sounded like a situation where the Ravens want to get some more leverage or want to get money back, or I don't understand. I could get on the mainstream media and what people don't trust and all that, but it's just, take that with a grain of salt. That's what I would say. Take that with a grain of salt, Raven fans and all that. But the bigger point I want to make is this is what happens when you lose. This is what happens when you're 7-8, 13-3. Ravens with 13-3, this stuff wouldn't be coming out. Same way Tucker all of a sudden has all these problems. He misses 10 field goals. So keep that in mind. All right, Big Five. 5 biggest games on the schedule that are not Ravens games as well. So 5 biggest games this coming weekend that are not Baltimore Raven games. So let me take this out because I don't think that's right. So let's go ahead, last week's games, and we're going over that while I'm pulling this slide up here. 5 games last week. So we're here down the stretch as well. So the last few weeks of the season are here. And so we're going over these last few games. So all these games pretty much have something to do with playoff positioning and all that as well. They've also too, I will say, weighted a lot of this stuff for the last few weeks. Okay, so what the league wants is competitive games in the last few weeks to go ahead and get marquee matchups right here at the end. So Christmas Day, they got games. That was kind of a miss. But a lot of these games on at the end here are going to be really good games here to go over. So Rams and the Seahawks. I don't know if there was a better game in 2025 other than that Thursday night game. That game was fantastic. The Rams, I thought, had a big lead, almost turned it off. And now they're rallying. So they needed 2-point conversions as well. Went for it, had the brass ones to go for it at the end. So Rams actually lose to the Seahawks in this one. That was big for the confidence of the Seahawks and Sam Darnold to actually beat the Rams in the 12s in that environment and actually get a 38-37 win. That was huge. Bears Packers was huge too. I thought that was an outstanding one as well. Bears are a real team. They are a real team. Ben Johnson. Look, we question if this guy was as good going to be as good as a head coach as he was a coordinator. I'm not sure Ben Johnson's not one of the top 10 coaches in the league, period. I mean, the job he's done. I mean, this is the Chicago Bears with offense. like, when have we ever seen this? Even when we've had good teams. So the Bears actually over the Packers. We talked about the Packers, I guess, but the Packers, that Parsons injury really was a problem. Really shored up a area that they had. Bucks Panthers. I think this is only part one. Panthers win this game 23-20. Bucks now need to win this week to actually secure the last game of the season. They should beat Miami as well. If they can beat Miami in this game, it's going to be winner take all week 18 for the NFC South. That's a good one as well. Probably, I don't know if there's a bigger surprise this year than the Jags. They actually goes into Mile High and beat the brakes off the Broncos 38-34-20. You talk about Ben Johnson coach, Liam Cohen coach. I'm really still surprised how well it is. And the Lions probably not going to the playoff, but sealed their fate. Lions, Steelers, Squirrels getting the win. Mike Tomlin's finding a way. 29-24 over the Lions as well. This week, two teams I think got their eyes on the playoffs. The Houston Texans going against the Houston Texans going against the LA Chargers as well. Herbert, I don't know about MVP consideration, but I think his solidified himself as one of the top shelf quarterbacks in the league. I think because the Chargers weren't winning, I think that was kind of a thing where we kind of had a different view of Herbert. Can CJ Stroud get a big win like this on the road? That's kind of the thing. So these two teams are kind of in the same spot. They're really good teams, but they don't win these road games and they struggle on the road. So that's a thing. So we will see there. Seahawks and Panthers. I think the Seahawks had one of the biggest wins, I think, of their franchise in recent years. Mike McDonald has certainly established himself as a good coach with a great job that they're doing. Their defense is really good. Offense, they're keeping it simple. Donald is doing his thing. They're running the football a lot. They're very physical. I think they win this game over the Panthers. They need it more. The Panthers really don't need it. Regardless of what they do here, they definitely going to need that winner take all most likely next week as well. They could win and Tampa loses and win the division. I don't think they win this game. I think the Seahawks are a better team as well. Phillip Rivers, I think it's a cool story, but the Jags are no joke. Trevor Lawrence is back in the top area of the quarterbacks of the NFL. He's got Brian Thomas. Their offensive line, I think, is very much surprising people with how well they played. I don't love them defensively. I think they're good enough defensively. They got some good players, but as well. And the Colts, I think they're just kind of spitting wire at this point. I think they're kind of eliminated. They think they're eliminated at this point as well. I think it's cool though to see Phillip Rivers out there as well. I think probably the best game of the weekend, Eagles and the Bills. I think this is a huge litmus for both teams. So these two teams could see each other in the Super Bowl. Both of them kind of a lot is still expected. I think maybe not as good as they thought, but maybe they are. Because Josh Allen's certainly back in the MVP conversation. This is Josh Allen's team. When I see the Buffalo Bills, they are the Chicago Bulls, etc. It's Mike and everybody. What? Good for you, man. Good for you. And my daughter lost it too, so that's important. And Josh Allen. Eagles, I think, still are in the Super Bowl bubble as well. I don't know what's going on with Saquon, why he isn't on track like he was. Some issues on defense, but they're still really good. Not too concerned about that. as well. I like the Eagles. And I like the Eagles in that game. I do. And the Bears and the 49ers. 49ers, I think they're even more confusing than the Jags. They got no players on defense, like none. Like Robert Saleh's done such a good job. They're already talking about him again, getting looked at as a head coach as well. Bears are no joke for real. They should win this game, and I think they do win this game. But I've been picking against San Francisco like a lot, and they're still winning. So I'm gonna take the Bears because the Bears have more talent. I think the San Fran as well. San Fran still needs to win to get in. I think they're pretty much in the playoffs now, but I think they still going to need to win. They're probably going to be the best third place team, like in all the playoffs as well. So there you go. Big Five. All right, so you guys go ahead and enjoy all the games this weekend. So definitely, absolutely do that as well. It's here. Playoff time is about here. So hopefully, Ravori Sports doesn't have to do its first streams in January without a Ravens playoffs. This would be the first time that we actually do that without Ravens in the playoffs. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about playoffs since you brought it up. The college football playoffs are coming up here. So we had a couple college football playoff games here, and let's go ahead and go over that as well. I don't care what the result. I don't have a problem with these smaller schools being in. I just don't. I think a lot of this is so political. It's unfortunate. But we're gonna go over the games here as well. Miami 10-3 over Texas A&M. I kind of thought Texas A&M was a bit of a fraud. I kind of didn't see an elite team when I saw them. I thought a really good team would go ahead take them out. Miami, I think they're all defense. Like they're a team that's going to just score. I think that's how they look as well, and it's not as impressive. I definitely think if they had swapped, I would question them getting in. I think had Miami been in the SEC and Texas A&M been in the ACC, Big 12, they definitely is what would have happened. Ole Miss over LSU over Tulane 41-10. I thought that would be a little closer as well, but it was tough for Tulane to go into Mississippi. A little bit of a surprise to me when Alabama over Oklahoma. I thought that was about as bad as the Sooners looked all season long, Brent Venables' team, when I saw that. So Alabama still has some good players. I mean, let's not get it twisted. Kalen DeBoer has still got 5 stars everywhere in that. I don't think they'll win the whole thing still, but James Madison, probably school closest to, big time school closest to where we are in Shenandoah Valley. That was just butt whooping. 51 to 51 to 34 over JMU. I think Dante Moore, I mean, you could argue the best quarterback in college football, not named Mendoza or Ty Simpson. I think he might be even better than Ty Simpson. I actually think I like him better than Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson is good, but I think Moore and Mendoza, I think, are the best two. Diego Pava, I mean, some people like, I really like Dante Moore. Dante Moore is really good as well. So next round, you're going to get December 31st, Ohio State and Miami in the Cotton Bowl. So that's going to be on ESPN as well. Definitely like the Buckeyes in that game as well. Buckeyes, I think, are a very complete team. Ole Miss and Georgia, definitely do like the Bulldogs as well. Gunnar Stockton, I think, is pretty underrated. I don't know if he's an elite quarterback, but he's been really good for them all year long. Indiana is really going to beat Alabama. I said that about Alabama, but I think a lot of people are going to bet on Alabama. I wouldn't do it. I actually like Indiana. Indiana, I think, doesn't still get enough credit. I mean, they have really had a huge margin of victory in all their games. Oregon and Texas Tech in this game. This is going to be really close. Texas Tech I like better than Texas A&M. I think they're pretty good as well. Both teams are going to be physical. I'm going to take Oregon, though, a little bit over Texas Tech here in the Orange Bowl. But this will be really close as well. So we're going to see as we get to the finals of the college football playoffs as well. Definitely check that out as well. Good games, though. I think in this next round, you're going to see much better slate of games. NBA. So definitely on the Ravori Sports blog, I talked about the NFL. Say hi, Lonnie. You're on camera. There you go. Say hi. Say hi.
Subscribe to Ravori Sports.
Say Merry Christmas.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad. All right. Thank you. All right. So NBA on Christmas. The tradition. I wrote a piece on the Ravori Sports blog about the NFL and the NBA. So definitely check that out. That'll be out at 6 a.m. So Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. The Ravori Sports blog, Ravori Sports Breakdown is what it's called. We're going to be writing about a lot of this stuff that's going on. Christmas Day games. Let's go over, chop them up a little bit here as well. 17-14, the Cavaliers over the Knicks, 20-9. So a lot is expected from these two games. This is the early game, I believe, like 10 o'clock. Traditionally, when I was coming up, like the Knicks would get the Christmas Day game before there was as much fanfare as it is now. And they would play at 12 o'clock. And so they've kind of continued that now. They kind of reemerged with that with 12 o'clock. So they're going to be playing. Sure, you put a timer on this stuff. And I don't want timer. I want to finish talking. All right. So 17-14 is the record for Cleveland. 20-9 for the Knicks. Cleveland, I think, has one of the better players in all of the NBA, Donovan Mitchell. Darius Garland, I think, I mean, one of the fastest guys in the league. Donovan Mitchell with over 30 points a game this year. I like the size of the Cavs. I really do. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, two Evan Mobley's like 7 feet tall. Jared Allen's almost about 7. So I think they definitely have they definitely have it. The Knicks, despite their record, I don't know if they're as good. Jalen Brunson's got to do a lot for them. I don't like Mike Brown as a coach. I don't. I've never really liked him as coach. He keeps getting jobs. I mean, I think he definitely got worked in Sacramento, but I've never really liked Mike Brown a whole lot as a coach as well. But that's why I kind of like the Cavs here as well. I think the Cavs are a better team. I think they're good defensively. I think Towns still having a good season, like 22 points a game. Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, they're decent, but I like the Cavs in general over the Knicks. These are the two teams with the best records in the Western Conference. To me, this is the most intriguing matchup of Christmas Day. They're unveiling the San Antonio Spurs. I feel like the new era of the Spurs is kind of getting unveiled. Second best record in the West. So even now they're going to be playing the team with the your defending, reigning champions, to quote Paul Heyman there, the Oklahoma City Thunder. So the Thunder actually, in a way, have lost some games here lately. I mean, they had only the one loss for the longest time. Now they're up to 4 losses as well. Mitch Johnson is now the new guy taking over for Greg Popovich, who was there for so many years as well. This is going to be fascinating. This is the one you don't want to miss, in my opinion. Edge of your seat as well. I do like the Thunder. It's hard not to take the Thunder as well. I think the Thunder have the deepest in terms of talent in the league. They have like 6 or 7 guys that can really, really score for you as well. Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartstein, SGA, I think, is the best player, I think, in the entire league right now as well. Aaron Wiggins off the bench. Caruso, I think, is helping them a lot. The Spurs, this is a new era for them. Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, still not starting it. De'Aaron Fox, Wembanyama, Harrison Barnes, I think, is giving that veteran presence. So they're good. They're good. They've been building for a while. This is a franchise that absolutely knows how to build. I don't think they come through against the Thunder as well. Yeah, overrated teams here. The Warriors, it's over. I don't care what anybody says. Steph Curry's still going to score a lot of points. We know that, but I don't think there's anything here for them. Steph Curry's is going to do what he does. I think they're too old. Draymond got in a fight with Butler. Draymond got in a fight with Steve Kerr. I think it's over. I think we are, though. What is worth watching, obviously, here, Cooper Flag from Duke, the Dookie, as well, to see how well he does going forward as well. But I think it's over for the Warriors. I don't think the Warriors have a lot going forward as well. Rockets and the Lakers. Rockets are a good young team. So I think the Rockets, have an excellent coach in Ime Udoka. I think Kevin Durant is there, but around them, they have a lot of their draft picks that are finally coming through in recent years. If you look at that, the most recent years, the Lakers kind of are the same. LeBron is kind of bouncing back. He had an awful stretch there for a while. Maybe he's starting to save his legs, but Doncic looks like an outstanding player, over 30 points a game as well. Austin Reeves may not play, I think, with the injury, so they may start Marcus Smart as well in this one. Darren DeAge has been a good pickup for him. And again, he doesn't have to be in this situation, even though he's a former number 1 off pick. He doesn't have to do everything here. Just has to contribute. Like the Lakers in this one as well. Doncic, I think, has been fantastic as well. And the T-Wolves and the Nuggets, these are, I think, 2 of the better teams in the West. Anthony Edwards, I like Anthony Edwards. I think he's really on the tier. The only thing I'm concerned with him is some nights he's got to be. I want to see Superman every night from you, and some nights I don't see it. So I think that's kind of the thing with Anthony Edwards as well. The Nuggets, I think Nikola Jokic is embarrassing the whole league. How is a center leading the league in assists? Crazy. So that's exactly what's going on as well. I like the Nuggets in this one as well. I think the Nuggets, are going to win the game. There you go. More basketball real quick. Maryland lost to Virginia, so now they're at 500, 6-6 record. This weekend, they're going to go ahead and play Old Dominion as well. This is the last one they're going to get before they really get into the Big Ten schedule and really ramp it up there as well. Tough games, tough schedule. UCLA, Purdue, etc. We're going to talk a lot about that, especially after the football is over. We're going to talk a lot about Maryland basketball. Pharrell Payne, no one's talking as well. He's been asked several times. He just has not said anything. He did not play at all. They definitely miss him. Dickie Colt, I think, is a volume scorer. They're a mess right now on offense, as well. That Virginia game, Virginia missed a lot of shots, and they still really couldn't capitalize early as well. So we'll see with the Terps going on. Oreos as well. Shane Baez. I think I didn't go live. I almost went live, but I decided just to go ahead and wait. From the Tampa Bay Rays, so a big early round pick, is now a member of the Baltimore Orioles. So the Orioles, they're going to look at 2 starters. So this is one. This is a guy with 4 controllable years under his belt. That's a thing. So they're going ahead and getting him. They traded a lot, though. Slater DeBron, Caden Bodine, Michael Ferret, Austin O'Verne, and a competitive balance pick, the 33rd pick. So that's a lot. They did want to get a controllable years pitcher like this, so they wouldn't have to spend so much money going out and getting a starter. I think they still may have their eye on a Framber Valdez or whatever the negotiation they may be looking at. That we'll see. And again, the only part about this trade, and I understand it, but you gave away Michael Ferret. It seems like when they do these trades, they're giving away good pitching prospects every time. Trade away DL Hall, trade away Ferret, trade away Burmeister, trade away, and mixed returns of how they've all worked. Trade away Grace, but this is when they want to get deals done, they do that. But they're getting a guy, Baez, I think is going to be better in Camden Yards, and he has been very tough to pitch in that minor league stadium last year. So we will see about that. And one last segment. On Facebook and Twitter this week, I asked 2 questions. Who is the best center fielder for the Orioles of all time? And a lot of them said Paul Blair. I purposely asked that question because it's a tough one. Was it Paul Blair? Was it Adam Jones? Was it the B, Al Montgomery? Some people, I didn't say Cedric, put Cedric in there. Second baseman, kind of the same thing. So, because that's close, right? You could say Roberto Alomar. You could say Bobby. I'm saying Bobby Grich. Brian Roberts. I got no problem with any of those answers. So, what would the Orioles look like if they took the field as the ultimate 26? So this is how the Orioles would look if their all-time best players took the field at different positions. So these aren't the best 26 Orioles of all time, but these are the ultimate 26. So if I'm starting a roster, starting a game, this is the guys that I would have. Gus Trianos, I think, would start behind the plate. Chris Hoiles would go ahead and back him up. You got to carry, in my opinion, at least 2 catchers in this one. Eddie Murray would start at first base. 2 really good first basemen. Boog Powell behind him. Eddie, I think, is probably one of the greatest Orioles that should have stayed an Oriole. There was a guy I think that should have never went away. It was Eddie Murray. Could not get along with the owner, Edward Williams. Word was that he didn't like African Americans, and so he traded away. He was frustrated with that, all that. And Boog, I think, the best barbecue / power hitter of all time. Bobby Grich. That's my answer to the second baseman. I'm putting him at second. All due respect to B. Rob. All due respect to Roberto Alomar, Rich Dower. Bobby Grich, I think, is the best second baseman in Orioles history. Brooks Robinson at third base. I would trot him out there and play at third base as well. I don't think anybody's going to debate me there, neither with Cal Ripken Jr. at 1. Keep Mark Belanger around for defense. So Mark Belanger, I think that would be a good choice defensively. I think Cal, I think is just superhuman. I think I've said that every time I've talked about Cal Ripken. Cal Ripken is superhuman. The record, I don't think that'll ever be broken. Matt Olson has a pretty good streak right now, but not even close. This guy's a stud. Cal Ripken, I think, one of the greatest. Belanger, I think, would be there if it wasn't for Cal and his great defense. Brady Anderson, I put him in left. The center field question some people asked about Brady Anderson. Brady hasn't played more left than center. I think Brady, is the best left fielder we ever had. I know he started in center, but I think there was nobody here. He's actually under-revered, I think, as one of the great Orioles. I really do think so. Brady was good for a long time. I see him, I always refer to him as kind of like the Macho Man Randy Savage to the Hulk Hogan of Cal Ripken, kind of like the first lieutenant. I think that's kind of why. Or Ed Reed and Ray Lewis type as well. Center field, I put all 3. Adam Jones, Paul the B, Al Montgomery, Paul Blair. I have a hard time separating that Bumry was one of my favorite players as a kid. Bumry was one of my favorite players. It was one of my mom's favorite players. I think quintessential leadoff man. I'm starting Adam Jones, though. Jones, I think, was the stats just say it. Oh, I will say this. There's a lot of Paul Blair out there. There was a lot of people that think Paul Blair, but he's on there as well. Frank Robinson is in right field as well. I don't think there's any debate. I think Frank Robinson, probably as far as an African-American, as far as a hitter at that time, probably maybe only Jackie Robinson surpassed him as far as the impact he had as an African-American as well. Harold Baines, I think, is one of the greatest DHs of all time. On the rotation, no question about it. This is pretty easy. The Moose, Mike Mussina, behind Jim Palmer, Dave McNally, Mike Cuellar, and Mike Flanagan in the rotation. Bullpen, the Otter, Greg Olson, Tippy Martinez. I like Tippy, though. I do like Tippy, but he wouldn't be your closer over Olson. I think Olson is the greatest closer in there. Zach Britton was fantastic. The Derrick Henry situation kind of reminded me of Zach Britton, where he should have been in the game and wasn't in Toronto a few years ago. Jim Johnson was outstanding for a while. Darren O'Day, one of the best setup men. Jorge Julio and Randy Myers. I think a shame we couldn't keep Randy Myers long, and he could have went. That went left real quick. So how would the order look? So putting him out there, put Brady Anderson first, Adam Jones second, Frank Robinson third. Frank Robinson over Cal. Frank, I think, was a better hitter than Cal. Eddie Murray is the face of my head. Every time I see a cleanup hitter, it's Eddie Murray. Cal Ripken at shortstop, Brooks Robertson at third base, Harold Baines at DH, Gus Triandos at short, and I think Bobby Grich at second. Deal with it. Second base, Bobby. And Bobby Grich wasn't even my era, but I think the numbers were better. I do think the numbers were better. Who would be pitching and starting the game? Obviously, Jim Palmer. Who would close out the ninth? It would be the Otter, Greg Olson. And who would be the manager? The late, great Earl Weaver. They don't make him like Weaver anymore. They just don't make him like Weaver anymore. Kicking, screaming. You look at managers now, they're so put together and all that. Earl Weaver had no use for that. Give me a 3-run home run and a good pitch game. Earl Weaver. So there you go. The ultimate 26. So those are the 26 Orioles I would go ahead and go with as well. So we're deeper in the offseason. So next week, we're going to talk about the Orioles Hall of Fame as well. And we're going to talk about, I think, what's a very hard list to put together. The 20 best players in MLB history ever. So the 20 best players of all time. After that, that'll take us into our 2026 top 10 list. We'll start with catcher, first base, etc. with our list as well. And we'll carry with baseball. And we'll also continue to keep up in case anything happens with the Orioles. Merry Christmas, Ravori Sports Nation, Ravens fans, Raven fans, Oriole fans, Terp fans. Thank all of you for joining us this year. You have a great rest of your day.
Merry Christmas.